Well, it seems like today's reading may not be the best choice for a birthday celebration. If you are, aiming for a light-hearted atmosphere, imagine the faces of the guests as they try to enjoy the birthday cake while pondering awe-filled Pharisees and temple oaths. Well, let us have all that oaths for another day. A story is told of a bishop who was, often confronted by a wealthy man who talked very insolently. "I never go to church," boasted the rich man. "Perhaps you have noticed that, bishop." "Yes, I have noticed that," answered the bishop gravely. "Well, I don't go because your church has many hypocrites." "Oh, don't that keep you away?" said the bishop, smiling blandly. "There is always enough room for one more, Well, a couple of years ago, I woke up in the middle of the night with a severe pain in my shoulder. And I had a locked shoulder, and I had to get medical attention immediately. And I was surprised to see many people also buying medicines in the very wee hours of the morning at the hospital. But what caught my attention was a well-known, influential, respected man I recognized there. I always see him in the church attending daily mass. I have seen him at several prayer meetings, and he is very active in the society for good causes, good purposes. While people are waited for their turn, that man started to get impatient. He asked the lady pharmacist for his purchases and complained that processing his credit card took too long. And he shouted at the top of his voice as he, name dropped and threatened the pharmacist to have a fight. And he was far from the person I would see in church, quietly attending the mass, listening to the readings and receiving Holy Communion. I felt sad for him and also for the lady and said a prayer for both. But there may have been many reasons why he lost his temper that night. But I left the pharmacy with a lesson. It's not enough that I go to church and worship God. I must let him dwell in my heart so that others also may see him in my life. It is often an inevitable rite of passage when we encounter the sinful or the least human side of those we hold in esteem. We often remember when our family members or political leaders or spiritual leaders fell from that pedestal we had placed them on in our minds. And I cannot help but read today's gospel passage without considering the recent scandals in the church, scandals of leaders in politics, and the waywardness of our loved ones in our own families. People whom we looked up to as idols, but who fell from that pedestals we had for them. And the betrayal is deep, mainly because, like the Pharisees in the gospel, these leaders and persons were the people we looked up to. And reflecting upon the human frailty that we encounter in ourselves and in those we hold in high regard, we find solace and inspiration in the life of Saint Augustine. His fervent journey, marked by its twist away from and also back to God, reminds us of the transformative power of divine grace. The tears of his mother, the guidance of St. Ambrose, and the scriptures reshaped his heart. And Augustine's legacy endures, urging us to embrace responsibility, integrity, and dignity. Let us too seek such profound redirection, keeping in mind that, at least in a few instances, we are also people who are held in esteem and to whom others look up to. St. Augustine, pray for us.